Wait, I don't think we're live yet.
Yeah.
Are we? Yes, we are.
Okay. Awesome. Hi, everyone. We'll be starting in a few minutes. So if you're listening to us, yeah, 3 to 5 more minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Alex, do you have the Facebook or link, the live link?
Yeah.
Just thinking where.
Yes, I'll send it to you.
What? I'll just, yeah. Thank you.
Sent.
Okay. Thank you very much.
We already have 4 viewers on our Facebook Live.
Hello.
So we're waiting a few minutes for the participants to join. Then we'll begin our presentation.
Okay.
Five viewers now on Facebook Live.
Hi.
If anybody has any questions as we go through the presentation, yeah, please just type it into the comments. Okay. Shall we start now?
Give me a second. Let me just share that to my page first. 8:30. Maybe we wait for a few more minutes because some people told me that they need a couple of minutes to, brush their teeth or something after dinner.
Okay.
Okay. Let me just share. Do you happen to have the LinkedIn link as well?
Let's see. How do I do that?
Sometimes it takes a few minutes to actually. Oh wait, you know what? I see it, so I can just repost.
Yes, you should see it on our LinkedIn page.
Okay, can.
Okay, go ahead.
Are we starting?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Ken, I am going to share my screen. Hi, everyone. Yeah, before I share my screen, I just thought I would say hi to everyone and thank you so much for joining us here. So great to see all of you. We have a few viewers on Facebook already and few viewers on LinkedIn, right? So I thought, why don't we just start? And if anybody joins late, they can always ask questions whenever we want to. So as an introduction, my name is Jasmine. I am one of the co-founders of Recommend Group, and Alex here is the other co-founder, right?
Yep.
We have a third co-founder actually, Anthony, who is Indonesian. He is right now dealing with another pitch meeting. So as we, speak, what Alex and I are going to do are tell you a little bit about our business, and then we are going to show a few slides so that you can get a good sense of what our business is like. And then we will leave some space at the end so that you can ask us some questions. So for those of you who have just, seen this for the first time, the reason we are doing this is because we are fundraising on Pitch In. It is actually an equity crowdfunding campaign, which means that ordinary folks like you can actually invest as little as 4,290 ringgit in our business and also support us in a small way. Okay, and stay toward the end. We will actually tell you how to do it, but the post itself should already give you a link where you can click and find out a little bit more. The good news, the great news is that we have reached our fundraising targets. So we aim to close by Friday this week. So you have 4 days, well, 3 days really, if you want to sign up for our campaign and be part of Malaysia's success story, right? And why is it a success story? Let us tell you a little bit more about our business. So, Alex will start with, and then I will pick it up later.
So you can think of this as like a Kickstarter, but instead of putting in money to get the product, as it's manufactured, you're basically putting in money to own shares in our company. Yeah, but under a equity crowdfunding arrangement. So the crowdfunding arrangement, you can go and see it on pitchin.my, but we'll leave the link at the end. Yeah, so we'll just jump into how we got started with this business and where it's headed so far and why it's a good investment for you. Yeah. So we deal primarily in home services, and as you know, home services, it can be very stressful, especially when it comes to huge projects such as renovations and interior design. I myself got scammed by a guy who came to fix my water heater. Right, he took it apart, and then while it was sitting there broken, he tried to overcharge me, and then he said, if you don't pay, I'm just going to leave it here. Yeah, so I basically was pretty much stuck. But that kind of experience, I'm sure it happens to everyone, whether it's a small repair or a huge renovation. You're worried that you're going to get you're going to get scammed, or you're not going to get what you paid for. Yeah, so we wanted to solve that problem. Next slide, please. So what really is needed to solve the problem? Really, it comes down to transparency and trust. What that means is that when you are transparent, it means that you know what the prices are going to be, right? And you're not surprised by it. Transparent also means that you know that this guy already has a good track record, right? Whether it's a portfolio of previous work or good customer testimonials. Yeah. And trust, the trust part is that you can trust the platform to have already found the good people and already weeded out the people, the scammers and the fraudsters. Yeah. So that's how we approach it. And what that means is that when we talk about the recommend way, when you want to book a home repair, right? Let's say you want to repair your fridge, or you want to get a house cleaning, or do your aircon servicing. Now you can choose right away the day and time, and you will get the pricing as well. You know how much you're going to pay, and once you submit, you get confirmation. And usually it's within 30 minutes. In fact, for aircon, it's within 5 minutes. Yeah, so it's almost like calling a Grab. Yeah, and the guy will confirm with you right away. You know the price, you know the guy is good, you know what's his rating. Yeah. And even if anything goes wrong, as long as you are dealing through our platform, you get warranty, you get insurance. Yeah. So all the job is protected. And really based on that simple premise, we started in 2014, and as of today, we're already the #1 home and property services platform. Yeah, we cover Malaysia, Indonesia, and collectively we've served 1.5 million homes. In fact, it's probably 1.8 million now. This data is a little outdated, but every month we get 30,000 job requests coming into our platform. So this is a big mix, house cleaning, aircon, handyman, electrician, plumbing, renovations, all sorts of jobs, anything to do with the home. All of it is worth a total of $10 million. Yeah, and when they pay through, when the customer pays through our system, or in fact 20,000 of those customers pay through our system, so that we make sure that that they are protected all the way. Yeah. And the way that we split up our system, or the way that we divide our system, is really into 3 parts. If you look at the one on the left, we call it home maintenance on demand. Yeah, and that basically means any kind of urgent repair, any kind of servicing or cleaning. right? And what happens is, like I said, it's almost like booking a Grab. You tell us what you need, what day, what time. We'll show you the price if we can, and then you book it, and we will find the best guy to confirm the booking with you. Yeah. Then there's the middle one, which we call the home improvement marketplace. And this is normally for big jobs, renovations, a big kitchen cabinet job, interior design. So you don't want just one guy to come to your house. You want to compare prices. So what we will do is you just tell us some details about what you want, and we will try and get many quotes for you so that you can compare. And normally it's up to about 4 quotations. Yeah. And these guys, our system knows that they are the most suitable to quote you. They're in your area, they have the type of expertise for the job that you said you want to do. But also the back end we consider very important as well, right? This is our digital growth platform. And what this means is that the service professionals who join our platform, they now have the tools, because they are skilled in whatever they do. They have the expertise, but they now have the tools to manage their business effectively. And what that means is that they can provide you a good SOP, right? Reliable service with good communication. All that will be taken care by the system. Invoicing is settled, warranty, insurance, everything is settled through when they use our platform. So whether you are dealing with a big company like interior design company or just an individual house cleaner, you know that they are using our platform. They have a certain standard, right? And by following the rules and SOP in our platform, they will deliver you a level of reliability as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, we can skip that one. So I told you that there were on-demand maintenance services and large home improvement jobs. But, really we cover, I think, almost like 100 different types of categories, and they're scattered all over this chart here, right? And you can see that at the top row, at the top part of the chart, they are the high value jobs, right? They are worth a lot. Interior design, renovations. Then you see the blue stuff is like things that are needed to be done for businesses. For example, a cafe or a restaurant needs to service their chiller, the freezer, right? Or need to service their grease trap in the kitchen. Then you have the lower value jobs like cleaning, but they are high volume, means they happen over and over again. What we're trying to say here is that, there are jobs that happen often, there are jobs that don't happen that often, there are jobs that are high value, low value, but what it means is that they are spread out. And when there is like seasonal stuff, when there's a period like cold, a rainy season, we know that roof repair will go up, but aircon will go down, right? But by having a large range of services, our business is steady throughout the year. Yeah, there are always jobs to be done. Okay. So because we provide such a wide range of home services, a lot of organizations plug into us, right? They want to tap on our network of trusted service providers. And you can see that, these organizations come from different industries. For example, on the top left, we have the super apps, right? Grab, Shopee, Boost. In Indonesia, we're already integrated with Shopee and Grab, right? Then we have retailers on the top right. So these are the ones where if you buy your aircon from there, they can connect you straight away to an installer that comes from us. Yeah, if you buy a water heater or ceiling fan, it will go straight to our installer as well. So everything is end to end. Yeah, you're taken care with our services. But you can also get our services through your property developer, right? If you bought a Marsing unit or a Sunway unit, then they'll give you an app as a homeowner, and you can find us there as well. At the same time, you can find us through neighborhood apps as well. Yep. So this kind of model is scalable, and Jess, you can explain, which the other countries that have actually done this sort of thing and how they've grown.
Got it. Thanks so much, Alex. So essentially what we have here is not an aircon company, is not a cleaning company. It is a platform that connects customers to all the different types of services. So no matter whether or not it's on season, off season, flood season, fire season, all sorts of seasons, our platform will be relevant to the customer. And the idea is this, that no matter what service you're looking for, no matter, whether it's the first time you're requesting the service or the next time or the second, third time or whatever, when you go through the platform, it is always, always beneficial compared to if you hired the service professional yourself. Alex explained that, it is because of this reason, the reasons that you will get very, very fast response. You will know that whichever service professional appears at your house or quotes for your job, the quality is always of a certain standard. And then when you transact online through the platform, we give you protection, right, from warranty as well as insurance. So essentially, we are doing for the service industry what Shopee, Shopify, and all that, and Lazada, Grab has been doing for the e-commerce as well as the ride-hailing industry. We are providing a platform which gives you protection when you transact, right, for a service. Okay, and these sort of models you see it all over, other parts of the world as well. In the US, you can see Home Advisor, $2-3 billion company, Handy, NG, Thumbtack. These models are very large scale and very successful because there will always be customers in this industry and there will always be small service professionals whom nobody knows, right? So that is one thing. In India, you also see big companies, very impressive, like Urban Company and Bliss Space, for example. They are large companies and they essentially do the same thing, but they control a little bit more. They control because in Southeast Asia, India especially, there are a lot of service professionals and the standards are not very well established, right? They're not trained. Sometimes they do a certification. India, very, very similar to Southeast Asia for this perspective. And when these companies are successful in India, we actually take a lot of the lessons and apply them to Southeast Asia as well. Okay. In Australia, you have Airtasker and hipages, both very successful IPOs, and they have pretty much transformed the service industry in Australia, right? So every region in the world will have its champion, and we want to be the champion for Southeast Asia, right? Today, we are the champion already for Indonesia and Malaysia, but we want your support so we can go to the next level and take on the rest of Southeast Asia as well. Now, why invest in us, right? Apart from what I mentioned, it is a very scalable model that is profitable as well, okay? We are Southeast Asia's #1 home services platform in terms of transaction, in terms of GMV. We are the largest player in Indonesia and Malaysia, and Indonesia being a market of 300 million is very sizable. The economy is large. We have learned that our business is very, very resilient. Before the pandemic also grow, during the pandemic also grow, and after the pandemic also grow. So in a way, nothing pretty much stops people from looking for services because they have a home, and when your aircon is spoiled, you will pay to fix your aircon, okay? Nobody likes to do their own plumbing. Nobody likes to do their own aircon servicing. So we will always be in business. Now, and the way that we approach the problem is not to, hire 20 people and then set up a company. We could do that, but we wanted the level of transformation to be even stronger. So we wanted to be able to extend whatever we built across multiple industries and multiple countries as well. So essentially, we have a tech platform, and I'll talk a little bit more about that when I get to that slide. And we aim to get profitable and still grow 30, 50, even higher percentage every single year. No matter whether the rain or shine, we will continue to grow. Okay. By the way, we aim to get profitable in 6 months now. In the last few months, we achieved a lot of advancement. There's some very, very exciting news that we will announce. That's why we aim to get profitable in 6 months' time, right? So you're not getting a company that's burning like crazy. You're getting a company that high growth, platform play, very, very little assets on the ground, and aiming to be profitable in a very short time. Okay, now, so look at this one. This is the number of jobs completed per quarter. It's essentially the number of jobs that we transact over our platform. And in the last 4 years, we have grown 5 times. Not many companies can say that through the pandemic, yeah. Okay, so not many companies can say that. You can see that 90% of our volume is in Indonesia. And some people ask me, why, Jasmine, you're Malaysian, but why your company 90% is Indonesian? Malaysia is a 30 million population. Indonesia is a 300 million population. So this is just reflective of the population size. Having said that, we are quite balanced across both companies, right? When you look at our revenue and net revenue, we actually balance across both companies, because even though the volume is very much higher in Indonesia, the GMV per job, or the gross merchandise value, the value of each job, is much less than what it is in Malaysia. Malaysia, even though we say that actually prices are quite cheap in Malaysia, it is much, much higher than Indonesia still. So in a way, both businesses actually complement each other in terms of large scale volume, as well as ability to monetize, right? So that's what we're doing. And you can see that this kind of business, there is seasonality. There is the Hari Rayas, the Chinese New Year's, and Christmas, where everything is very, very high in demand. And then there's a low month as well. But no matter what, every single quarter is better than the quarter before. Sorry, I mean the same quarter in the year before, right? Which means that we continue constant growth year after year. Okay. Now, if you look at regional revenue, cost, burn, and summary, this is a slide that it scares me a little bit, but also something that I'm very proud about. If you look at our orange line, we are essentially going to break even soon. Okay, 3 to 6 months. There were some months where during the pandemic, when the burn was very, very high, but we are essentially going to break even soon. Okay, the orange line, you see, is approaching zero already. And then after that, it will start becoming positive, right? So we are going to break even. And this is the proof that I'm showing you right here. What are we aiming to do? Are we going to be just a place where you go and look for services? Or do we have a vision that far extends beyond that? And the answer is, we have a vision that far extends beyond that. If you imagine 10 years ago, when you tried to buy a Philips kettle online, it is actually fairly stressful. You go over there and you don't know whether it's Philips kettle or Philips kettle. You don't know whether the plug is, China plug, Malaysia plug, Asian plug, whatever. And when you put your credit card in, you fully expect it to get ripped off at some point, right? Somebody will clone your card and start pumping petrol somewhere in Perak. And you don't know when the thing's going to arrive. It could be tomorrow, it could be next week, it could never come, you have no idea, right? The entire thing was completely in a mess. But today, when you buy something on Shopee, you are fully confident that in 2 days, the parcel will be outside your house, right? Why? It's because they spent literally 10 years building a platform that makes buying and selling things regulated. And this is exactly the same thing that we're doing for services. Services lagi complex because you're dealing with people to people, right? So in a way, every day when you're requesting for a service, the answer of who is a great service provider changes, because the uncle that serviced your aircon last year may not be here today. And the foreign worker that was working for the uncle that serviced your aircon might have already gone back, and he has a brand new team in place, which is not as good. So at every one time, the best guy to service your aircon, the platform needs to tell you that. And how does the platform tell you that? Essentially, we are a link between customers and our service professional. And these are customers that come over our web, our app, could come over our super app partners, like for example, Grab. If you open your Boost app, you will find us. You open your Grab app, you will find us. You go and walk in IKEA, for example, you will see us. You go to Courts and Aeon and you buy something, the installation will be done by us. So essentially, all these are all sources for customers. We put them, they come into our platform, and all these service professionals, they use our app multiple times a day. When they access the app, they have ability to do marketing and sales. They have all their customers in one place. They can collect pre-payments, post-payments, recurring payments, escrow payments. All these payments happen over the platform. So they have an easy access to payments. They can do scheduling. They can say, okay, today, where are all my jobs? Then if they can set up teams, they can say, okay, I got 3 teams. Today, where is my team 1? Where is my team 2? Where is my team 3? And they can track the movements of their team all over the country, wherever they are, right? So essentially, this functions as a business toolkit for these service providers. They don't need to sign up for 1,000 different SaaS software, but they can use us to already run their business. Okay, so one of the things that we're working on this year, which is showing a lot of potential, is expanding the capabilities of this platform, not just for customers that came through us, right? Our B2C customers, our B2B customers, but also they are bringing in their own customers to manage on our platform. And that opens up a lot of potential for things like, obviously some fees on the service management platform, but also we are starting to be able to sell them things. We can sell aircon, we can sell aircon gas, we can sell cement paints, any of those things, right? Our system's already set up to do that. And we can start exploring SME financing as well, which is why at this point, a lot of banks and P2P lending and all that, they are approaching us to say, can we connect or not? Right now, we say, hang on first. The left-hand side still needs some work. After the left-hand side is properly established, next year, Q2, we will start looking at those things on the right-hand side. But what are we doing on the left? Let me tell you more about that. So the three things that we are doing on the left, right, is the first one is to strengthen B2C. Those people who have used us know that we are mostly a B2C platform, and our flow is actually optimized towards that. So what are we doing with the funding that we are raising? The first one is to enhance the algorithm for allocating jobs. So right now we use, we have a funky algorithm in place, which matches you to the best service professional depending on how good he is. So reviews is absolutely the first thing. How often he cancels, whether or not his pricing is right for you, and whether or not he's available, right? These are some of the algorithms. But we are also using AI to start to accurately predict the price of repairs and renovation jobs. So for example, if you come to us and you try to order a service, we can pretty much tell you how much your job is likely to cost. And this is not just simple things like massage or cleaning or aircon service. We can even predict the price of your repair if you tell us your washing machine, which is a Samsung machine, is making a funny noise and the red light is blinking. And then you ask yourself, how come they can tell? I mean, they don't know what is wrong, right? It could be the washer, it could be the motherboard, it could be anything. We don't know what your problem is. And indeed, you also don't know what your problem is. In fact, the service provider, they can tell what your problem is, but they're not sure until they come and they open up your washing machine. But based on the data that we have in the back end, if your machine is making a funny noise and there's a red light blinking, then it's likely to be between 250 and 320 ringgit, maybe, right? Now the range is less already, it's plus minus 25%. So it's actually very, very accurate already. Okay, so this one will enable you never to get scammed by any service provider again, because our technology tells you how much it is likely to cost. Okay, the second one is we are putting some app user retention features, such as a voucher wallet, where every subsequent job you do gets cheaper and cheaper. And yes, also a membership program where if you become a member, we recommend all your jobs are the cheapest, lowest price, and the best value across the city, right? So that's a membership program. The second one is a B2B, and B2B is sort of like a passion of mine because I can see that a lot of businesses struggle with this sort of thing. Even in our office, right, when we want to get something fixed, it's such an annoyance. Imagine if you are a Family Mart or you have Old Town and you have hundreds of stores all over the city. It is a nightmare to onboard plumber in Perak, plumber in Penang, plumber in Johor, is plumber everywhere. And these jobs don't just happen. I mean, it doesn't happen every day, right? It's like once in 2 months, once in 3 months per branch. And you find that you constantly have to go and look for service professionals. A lot of companies are now coming to us and say, hey, Jasmine, I want to outsource our entire facilities and maintenance to you. Can you take on all the cities in Malaysia? Right now, we say, okay, you know, we are good here and we're not so good there and all that. But in order to serve them well, we need to expand throughout the country. So right now, we are already in partnership with Court, Aeon in Malaysia, Blibli, Moderna, and you know some of these players in Indonesia. And when we close a contract with these guys, the jobs come in hundreds of thousands every month, right? So that is really, really great. We need some funds to actually build out the functionalities there. And the third one is exposing the features that we built in our platform to allow service professionals to use our platform for their own customers as well. A little bit more like SaaS, but they cannot just use our platform for productivity, they also get new customers, right? So we are both a Shopee and a Shopify. Okay. Now, there are some details around all these. It talks about how we are training our service professionals using a network of business partners all over Indonesia and all over Malaysia, right? If you're a service professional, you're listening to this, we only choose 2 priority service professionals for every category. So please make sure you come and sign up fast, okay? We are also signing partnerships with retailers. So I mentioned Moderna, Blibli, Courts, Aeon. We're even working with people like Etika, for example, and some retail chains out there to make sure that whenever a service happens, we make sure that the price that's given to them are absolutely the best. because the platform is able to figure out when a pricing is fair and not. Okay, service management platform. These are some ideas of what the dashboard looks like right now. This is an existing dashboard where a business can see everything that that's going on with their business, and they can track their team, where they are in KL at any one time, which is great. Because a lot of time when you ask your team, they say, yeah, I'm around the corner, I akan datang, but they are still 1.5 hours late to the customer's house. So if you're a service professional, you really want to know where your team is. Okay. Now, this is the net revenue versus total cost. We are in 2023. We are ending 2023. And we actually hope that by the end of the year, this red line, this red bar would actually be at this line already, which means that the beginning of 2024, Q1, Q2, we will already be starting our profitability trajectory. So you can see we are right here now. And the point at which you invest will be the point at which we are going to be green already. So we are all very, very excited in the company. Okay. Will the investment work, right? If you're interested, right now we have a holding company in Singapore, right? And we needed to do that because investors sometimes require that for their governance purpose. We have 3 subsidiary companies. One is RTSB in Malaysia and RISB in Malaysia. RTSB runs our marketplace, which is connecting customers to third-party service professionals. Our ISB is our interior design company, and this interior design company is essentially does projects and work for our B2B clients and big projects. And then PT Recommend Technology Services is our marketplace in Indonesia. Essentially, because Pitch-in is a Malaysia SC regulated platform, we will have to issue shares from RTSB. And then in 6 months' time maximum, we will swap them over 1-for-1 in RTPL. Okay, which means that you will be having shares at the whole core level rather than just being benefiting from the Malaysia business. You will then benefit from the entire region. So if you're a Malaysian and you're thinking, how can I diversify my investments a little bit, right? I'm too overexposed to Malaysia or too overexposed to the ringgit. Then this is a good way to expose your asset portfolio to not just Singapore, but also Indonesian market growth. Okay. I'm very, very bullish on Indonesia. I love Malaysia, and I think Malaysia has got a lot of potential, especially under this new political climate. But I think Indonesia also has a lot of things to go for it, mostly because the population size is big. The middle class is actually growing and healthy, and the government is quite progressive, rational, and willing to make big changes, right, in order to create the next tiger of ASEAN. Everybody wants to be a tiger, right? So very, very positive on Indonesia. So these 2 countries actually very good match together. These are details of what the investment would be, but essentially the minimum investment is 4,290. And if you invest before we close, 30% bonus shares, okay, which makes our valuation very, very attractive, right? Definitely very attractive for a company that is very close to profit and also is a regional champion. Okay. We are investing now, and the investment valuation multiple is about 4x, which is very reasonable. We did 1.3 million last year, and this year we are likely to do even more. Hi, Sunpang. And we are raising Series B in about 6 to 12 months' time, right? When the climate hopefully gets a bit better. At that time, our revenue will be 1.5, 1.8. So much improved from where it is today, and also profitable, right? And in 2 or 3 years, our revenue will obviously be a multiple of that already. Hopefully the multiples will continue increasing, but at the same time, we are looking for an IPO or being bought out by a trade sale, right? Who knows what's going to happen at that point? But when we are able to track growth and profitability, we will have a lot of options. And Pitch-in investors may choose to exit when we raise our next round. Hi, Sunpang. Thanks for joining us today. Okay. So core management team, I won't say too much apart from the fact that on the right-hand side is our Malaysia team. On the left-hand side is our Indonesia team. And they've all been with us something like 5-6 years already. Right? The team has been with us almost from the start. Very, very passionate about this business and very experienced. They can literally run this business with their eyes closed now. Okay, so I'm happy to take on any questions at this point, Alex as well. If there's anybody who has got any questions, you're interested to invest, but you've got one or two niggling questions at the back of your mind, please let us know. You have to make a decision fast because we are closing on Friday already. Yeah. Let me see. Anybody, any questions from social media? Let me just minimize this, yeah. And look at whether or not we have got some questions on social media. So, tunggu sekejap. Alex, any questions coming in?
So far, no. I'm monitoring the Facebook Live and LinkedIn. No questions.
Okay, let me see. Okay. So I've got a question actually from Zoom, right? A message, a private message. So the question is this: why are you different from a traditional company, right? And what are the benefits that the customer can get going through you rather than bypassing the platform? Now, you have got two questions really. The first question is, what is the benefit of using us? And the second one is really you're asking the question that people do ask around marketplaces, the leakage, right? I mean, how do you prevent that? So the first question is, why do people go through us rather than a traditional company, right, or straight to the contractor? Is because they find it very hard to trust the contractor, right? You have heard of many cases where the contractor run away with the money, or a case where they took your washing machine and then you never sell them again, right? How do you ensure that a small company that you hire does not run away? It's very hard because they really do disappear sometimes. But a platform is much harder because we have got proper governance, we have got proper SSMs, our faces are all over the media. It's very hard for us to run away, right? And because a platform is very highly diversified. So in the pandemic, I don't know, half of aircon companies died, half of contractor companies died, but our platform still remained because we could adjust our business depending on what our data is telling us about the market. So for example, now we're able to say, oh, maybe new property sales is a little bit soft, but then people start renovating their old houses. So in a way, having a platform and many different types of services gives us a lot of protection against market fluctuation and market forces, which is why investing in a platform in a way is better than investing in just one service. Okay, so that's that's why customers also prefer to transact through us. Plus, anything happens, you can have protection in terms of payments, right? You're paying using your Visa and all that, and it's obviously payments associated with credit cards. At the same time, you get warranty protection, right? If anything happens within 30 days, we will send a guy to fix it. And if the guy really cannot fix it, we will send somebody else on our own cost. Okay. Insurance, if anything happens, theft, damages, public liability, somebody gets hurt, right? We protect against that as well. So there's really no reason not to use a platform. Now, once the guy appears at your house, the question is whether or not it's easier to WhatsApp him. You can, but you will not have any of this protection. And plus, that guy, he's going to ask you to put your job through the platform. Give him, you can choose to hire him, but must go through the platform. Why? Because that guy is not charged very much for the second service. We only charge a few percentage so that we can cover the transaction cost and all that. But we really don't take any commission anymore in the second job, right? So you have no reason to bypass us. And then secondly, the more that this guy has repeat customers, the service provider, the more that you hire him through our platform, his ratings and reviews are stronger and he climbs higher in our priority algorithm. So we recognize that this guy is, has a very high loyalty score from his customers. That's why we will give him even more new customers. So the more customers he brings back to us, and indeed, if he brings in his own customers as well, he gets higher loyalty score. So it just keeps better and better and better for him. So he actually prefers for you to go through the platform. That's the second thing. And then the third thing is also, when everything's on a platform, he can see all his customers in one place, his payments are all in one place, he can manage his team. Because if he has got half the customers here, another half on a tissue paper or WhatsApp or whatever, it's very hard to run his business, right? And nowadays, very hard to hire people. So he prefers to all his things to be in one place. Then next time he can track lah. Or, Alex actually requested for aircon service. Actually, what happened to his aircon the last time? There is a record. If he writes it on a piece of tissue paper or on WhatsApp, it's actually fairly hard to track back. So that's why operating on a platform is much better for customers and service professionals.
I would also add that from the customer's perspective, let's say you got a contact right from your neighbor and say, hey, try out this aircon guy, he's very good. It is, let's say it's an individual worker and you reach out to him and say, hey, can I make an appointment? He might be very busy and say, oh, sorry, 3 weeks later, right? But you don't have that kind of problem on the platform because you will get a guy in 10 minutes, right? And you have the same level of confidence that this guy is going to be good as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, like, a lot of services like aircon service, electrical, plumber, and all that, right? When not all of them are equal in a sense, and the best guy to do your job might not be the same dude that fixed your problem last year. So in a way, the algorithm and what we can understand of his experience, his actions and interactions really help us match the right guy. And you might say like, hey, plumber, same what, or aircon guy, same what. No, aircon is not the same. Like the guy who fixes the inverter versus non-inverter aircon, the wall hung, ceiling hung aircon, the guy that solves a motherboard problem versus the guy that does a simple servicing, it is not the same. But would you be able to tell by looking at his website or his Facebook page or his Google listing? You can't. But why we can tell? Because when he submits invoices and quotations, it all goes through our system. So we know actually what kind of things is he working on. When customers write reviews, our algorithm picks up all those words and helps us form a very good idea of this guy's experience and expertise, which is why we can always do the best match. And our match is better quality than your cousin's recommendation. It really is at that level already. And the AI can also help optimize, right? Who is the right person for the job for you? So services more complex than e-commerce, and probably that's why it took longer for it to really take off. But now is the right time. We have a lot of technology to help us form an opinion on who the right guy is for you. And then if we are wrong, we also put in platform protection like warranty, insurance, some categories we're able to say, we give you a best value guarantee, right? If you can find a cheaper service from somewhere, we will match it, right? So, really no reason to go out of the platform. That's what we are hoping that people get that message. Yeah. So, if you're listening over here, please tell people, don't get scammed anymore. We are so tired of listening to cleaning scam, contractor scam, and all these different scams. Go through the platform, protect yourself, right? And, so that you don't get laughed at, essentially. Yeah. Any other questions from anyone? I think we have a few, like Sun Pang. Hey, thanks, Sun Pang. Good to see you again. And Shu Ying as well, right? So some of you might be a bit shy, but if you're not and you have questions, please feel free to ask us. Yeah. Even after 9 years, we are very excited about this industry because it keeps throwing up curveballs. And people just keep changing. Society keeps changing. Service providers keep changing what they need, and our relevance keeps changing. So we are always very excited to see what's around the corner and how we can transform our business to be relevant to these guys. Yeah. If you're a bit shy and you don't want to ask, I'm going to type my phone number. Hey, you know what? I share my screen with my phone number, and this is my email. This is my phone number. We will also paste on the Facebook link as well. And maybe Alex, you can help me on Zoom. Paste the link of our campaign. There is only 4 more days. We are only opening our campaign for 4 more days because we have already achieved our target that we wanted to raise, and we don't need too much money because we are about to break even, right? So we actually don't need so much. Let me just, we don't actually need so much. So we're going to close our campaign soon. So if you want to invest, please do so in the next 4 days, or at least tell the pitching team that you want to invest so that they give you a little bit of a window of, a bit of space. But essentially, we are going to close this Friday. So, get on. Don't say we bojo, come and join us. these are my contact details. I'm going to paste it somewhere as well. So
Yep,
that-
I'm pasting it into the Facebook Live as well.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically it. Let us know if you've got any questions. Contact details are there, and we really hope that we see you in our investor list. So thank you so much, everyone, and yeah, have a good night. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.